Hi, my name is Holly O'Brien, and I'm going to share with you a testimony that I haven't written down, but I am part of a ministry, and part of that ministry is sharing my testimonies. And this week I found that I shared this testimony. It wasn't a planned testimony, but it was in response to somebody telling me that they had a friend whose son had committed suicide, and how voices were being heard by this person. And I recalled that I had a situation once like that in my life. And so I shared my testimony with her. And so I'm going to do that right now. I first want to read to you a poem that I actually wrote shortly before my life pretty much changed. But this is what it was like for me. During this period, it was very tumultuous. I had social anxiety. I used to hear voices all the time. And I don't feel like it was a schizophrenia thing or even necessarily a negative, thought thing that, I don't know, maybe it was demonic. I'm not sure, but I know after I applied the word to it that it went away. So it is called Dancing with the Devil, and I'm trying to pull it up here, but it is not seeming to work. So I will try to figure out how I can get that. Anyway, so basically what happened is I came to a point where I was having this crushing anxiety, social anxiety. I would hear negative voices all the time, and I couldn't take it. I felt like I was playing and walking the line kind of between God and the devil. And as perverted as it sounds, I liked that they both wanted me. This preceded a baptism that I did end up getting after I pretty much committed myself to God. So I wrote this poem, and I stayed up until about 4 o'clock at night because I had a social situation occur the day before that was really embarrassing. And the person pretty much found me out. But it was helpful. It was very life-changing and pivotal for me because it made me really decide. So I stayed up until 4:20. I think I timed it when I finally finished the poem, just really getting clear on where I was mentally, emotionally, what had been going on with me, and putting it into words, and realizing what I was doing, and then making a choice and choosing peace over the, allure of Satan, the devil. So I felt good just because I put it on paper and I kind of got past it. And thought, just because I guess I made that mental decision that the voices would stop. Well, 2 days later, and I don't know if I thought the voices would stop, but it was a situation where I just felt like I made a decision, so my life was going to change. So, and by the way, I never told anybody that I ever went through this. Anyhow, 2 days later, I'm at work. It's Monday morning. I turn on my computer and I start typing, and then the voices start, and they were just berating, and I don't remember exactly, but they were always putting me down, something mean, something bad. And I couldn't take it anymore. So I went into my boss's office, who wasn't there, and I got on my knees, and I just chose that morning. And I just said, God, I choose you, and probably please help me. And I don't really remember saying much other than that, except crying, and it still makes me cry and tear up. But so I dropped to my knees. I asked for help. I chose God. I might have asked for forgiveness too. I don't remember. It's been over 10 years, but I had a vision then, and then Christ came to me, and it was very simple, and he put a cross on my head, and he said, "You're mine." And that was it. And so that was all I needed, I guess. I just needed that that assurance that I was his. Oh, and I need to precede this with saying the reason I kind of even knew to do that is because I had been starting to read the Bible, even though I didn't, and I was going to church and the whole thing, but I was still using and, walking the line, the whole God and the devil, not really wanting to give up the things that I was doing, but also wanting to give them up. And so there was a verse that I was aware of, and I think it's James 4:6, and it says, draw near to God and the devil will flee, or something like that. Draw near to me and the devil will flee. So that's what I did. So by going and doing that, that was my choice, to draw near to God and hopefully have the devil flee. Well, after that, there might have been like 10 times within a year that I would hear these voices, but I would just shun them. I would just put it out of my mind, and I would draw near to God, and I wouldn't listen. I wouldn't, as I have since found out, there's another verse, and it says, don't give the devil a stronghold. And so I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't entertain them at all. And so sorry about this. So they pretty much stopped, and I really never have them anymore. And it's awesome. I have had a man that I worked with who we didn't really get along, and I pretty much get along with everybody. And we just didn't like each other. And he actually noticed the change that had apparently occurred in me, and I didn't even know it. But he said some months later, he's like, you're different. And I didn't tell him the whole situation, but I was just like, I just made some internal changes, and I left it at that. But it was nice to have somebody recognize that, yes, I am different. I'm not oppressed anymore. I'm not burdened and plagued by these, social fears and these inadequacies and constantly being berated by the enemy. And it's just a real relief. So anyway, I don't think I'm going to be able to pull this poem up, and that's fine, but I just want to share this because, I realize there's a lot of people out there that might actually be schizophrenic, or might have some type of demonic possession, or might have just constant berating thoughts like I used to have, or whatever it is. And I really feel like the devil had my mind, and I had to take it back, and I had to surrender my life. And I also had to ask for help, because I just feel like if it wasn't for God saving me and me making that choice and surrendering myself and saying, help me, that who knows what would have happened. I mean, I am not the suicidal type, but it was, The Walking Dead. It was such a bad way to live. And it was just a very poor way to live. So I just say this in case it helps anybody that I don't know how people live without God. I just don't. So I just want to say that he saved my life in more than one way. So I'm really glad about that. And I feel like he gets a bad rap sometimes, and Christians get a bad rap, but he came here for the sinner, and he came here for the unrighteous, and the people who weren't righteous, the people who need him. And I am definitely one of those. And, we're all trying, we're all on a journey. And I just want to say that he is the hope, the God of hope. So if you're lost, if you're struggling, God will help you. Just reach out to the Lord and cry out to him, and he'll save you, and he will give you life, and life more abundantly, and freedom from sin, freedom from evil, freedom. So anyway, let me see if I can pull up this, which I can't, which is fine. So anyway, I just want to give praise to God and just say thank you for saving me from my fears and helping me to grow and to change. I don't know if there's really much more than that, but it is nice these days to feel like and have actually in my mind in times of praise and worship, just feel like I'm dancing with Christ. So God bless you, whoever you are. And that's it. Have a great day.